Why was Jesus Christ crucified? Was it just a political move, a religious conspiracy, or something deeper? To understand why Jesus was crucified, we need to go back to 1st century Judea. The region was under Roman rule and tensions were high. The Jewish people were waiting for a Messiah, a savior who could free them from oppression. Enter Jesus of Nazareth. Jesus wasn't just another preacher. He claimed to be the Son of God, performed miracles, and gained a massive following. But here's the thing. His message challenged both religious and political authorities. Over 3 years, Jesus healed his sick, fed the hungry, and preached love, forgiveness, and the coming of God's kingdom. But his teachings threatened the status quo. He criticized the religious leaders for their hypocrisy and even flipped tables in the temple, calling it a den of robbers. Imagine this, a man claiming divine authority, gathering thousands of followers and openly challenging the powerful. To the Romans, he looked like a rebel. To the Jewish leaders, he was a blasphemer. And that's where things got dangerous. At the Last Supper, Jesus predicted his betrayal. Judas Iscariot, one of his disciples, sold him out for 30 pieces of silver. Jesus was arrested, tried, and condemned to death. But why was crucifixion selected? Why not just exile or imprisonment? Crucifixion was Rome's ultimate punishment for rebels, slaves, and the worst criminals. It was brutal, public, and meant to send a message. This is what happens when you challenge Rome. By crucifying Jesus, the Romans were saying, this man is not a king, he's a criminal. For the Jewish leaders, Jesus was a threat to their authority. He claimed to forgive sins, called himself the Son of God, and challenged their interpretation of the law. To them, this was blasphemy, a crime punishable by death under Jewish law. But since they were under Roman rule, they needed Rome to carry out the execution. Pontius Pilate, the Roman governor, didn't want to execute Jesus. He found no fault in him. But the crowd, stirred up by the religious leaders, demanded crucifixion. Pilate gave in to avoid a riot. And just like that, Jesus was sentenced to die. Jesus was beaten, mocked, and forced to carry his cross to Golgotha. There, he was nailed to the cross and left to die. But here's the twist. Jesus said that this was his purpose. He claimed his death would bring salvation to humanity. 3 days later, something incredible happened. Jesus' tomb was empty. He appeared to his disciples alive. This changed everything. His followers believed he was the Messiah, the Son of God, who had conquered death. Today, over 2 billion people follow Jesus Christ. His crucifixion wasn't just a historical event, it became the foundation of Christianity.